Hi everyone, welcome to this new little mini-series on Brian Setzer. This mini-series is going to focus on the kind of emergence that Brian Setzer uses as playing of country, rockabilly, classic rock, swing and western swing, and some jazz chords thrown in the mix there. We're going to be taking a look at parts from 3 different solos that I've transcribed and written out that can be purchased. There's going to be a link in the description below of a transcription pack from 3 really great solos that merge all of those things from his album Ignition. And those will be in tab and standard notation so you can follow along, and it's got all the chords written out as well. So in this first lesson, we're going to take a look at how he uses kind of the swing single note lead style influence on his playing, and how he can kind of quickly merge that into kind of that Chuck Berry rock and roll rockabilly sound. So in this intro of the solo that I just played, we're going to be starting out of a C chord shape. And we do this cool little triplet like that. So it's a cool triplet pickup going up to the 3rd and then going up to the 1st. So we're playing E flat to E. There's that approach note, G, A, C. So if you're used to playing like minor pentatonics, right, this is a way to start adding in some more kind of major sound, some more color to it by using these major notes, E, G, A, C, all based around a C6 chord, okay? That's a huge staple of kind of that swing sound, right? So if we have that, and then we're gonna come down playing C, B flat, A, G, E flat, approach, back. So we get a nice kind of mixture of that major sound with minor pentatonics in there, with that B flat especially. And that's a really typical thing you'll hear him do, start a lot of solos with kind of runs like that. And it's all just kind of moving around that major 3rd, that E note, right? Okay, and then the next phrase, and I'm not going to go phrase by phrase in all this, I'm just going to show you the points where this kind of idea is used throughout the solo. Our next phrase is, so that's an F chord. We can talk about that one a little bit later in another video. But then we go to a B flat chord, and he kind of does the same idea, right? If we're at our B flat, he does this. Now we're kind of getting a little more of the sound filled out. We're working up this B flat chord right here, a little arpeggio again. Just up 1, 3, 5. And then he's going up to the 9 and walking down chromatically to the 1. So you really get that. Or with the 13 in there, the 6. Right? And then hitting that emphasis of the flat 7. And that's a really important thing, to utilize that flat 7 as a note of emphasis, and not just like in your normal kind of minor pentatonics where you continuously pass over it, right? This is kind of the emphasis in this kind of style of playing, is that note against kind of that major sound. So you got another kind of extension of that, right? You've got this, you could, but now add in the 9 up there. Right? So you can kind of see you have a lot of just different little variations you can come up with. And that's really digging into that swing sound. So when you've got those chord shapes, like the kind of the big, if we're thinking in terms of cowboy chords, like this is like a F cowboy chord, or like an open E, if you imagine you're like doing an imaginary bar across those open strings, right? This is just C and B flat, right? And then so if we're working out of the next chord shape in the line, he does this kind of lick, right? And that's out of this E flat chord, right? We're walking up that minor third to the third, that's the G flat to G, fifth, sixth, up to 1. So you can kind of take all of your licks that you've learned in this first part, right? And you can do the same thing here, right? Because you've got the third, fifth, sixth, flat 7, and a 1 up there. Just a different position, but it's a really good handy, right? Like that. So if you're following those changes, you might go into the B flat, and then we'll come down into what's happening next. We've got an F chord, and he just plays Rockabilly. Kind of double stops there. So you've got kind of this swing, single notes building up, building up, building up into those double stops. So that solo all there, just kind of Chuck Berry-isms, double stops. But it's a nice, because it kind of, you know, brings those single notes to a head, like to kind of a climax, right? And that you've got that F chord right there, and you're right back into C. So what I would recommend is just kind of freely, like I was doing a minute ago, freely play through each change and kind of just come up with little ideas. Now I might go to the F, now to the B flat, E flat, to the F, to the C, right? No time in there. Another one, to the F, to the B flat, E flat, to the F, to the C, right? And then all the rock, Chuck Berry licks, you know, you can kind of incorporate there. So that's going to be the first little kind of Brian Setzer-isms I give you. Just taking these cool chord shapes that you're really familiar with and just working out of them, really emphasizing that minor third to major third resolution, and emphasizing the flat 7, not as a passing note, but as a point of emphasis where you can kind of merge one thing into the next. Okay, so check that out, listen to it a lot, listen to his playing. He's a really good collection of merging all these different styles. And also check out that transcription pack if you want to go further with this. And I'll see you in the next video, and we'll talk about some more of these Brian Setzer-isms. Thank you.